Top of the morning to you laddies! My name is Jacksepticeye, and in this video I'm going to go over some of the new Battlefield 4 footage that has come out. A bunch of new trailers came out today, but the most exciting one is Paracel Storm. It's a new multiplayer map and a new mode that we can see. So I'm just going to let the trailer play so anyone who hasn't seen it can actually see it for the first time, and anyone who has seen it, it can kind of jog your memory of what's actually in it. And then later on I'm just going to pause the video and go over my thoughts about certain sections and what's new and added to the game. So enjoy! Wasn't that amazing? Yeah, it's fucking awesome. First things first, the map is obviously called Paracel Storm, and what this reminded me of first was Wake Island. You have this carrier out in the ocean where it seems like everyone spawns from, and they all make their way to the islands on the inside then, and all their boats and their choppers. I'm hoping it's not too much like Wake Island, where everybody rolls out in these boats and it's all awesome and you think there's going to be huge naval combat, and then everybody just parks them on the shore and they kind of forget about them for the rest of the round. Now I'm going to pause the video here because the first thing you can notice is that they are playing a new mode called Obliteration Mode. This is a new mode for Battlefield 4, and the description of it reads, destroy your enemy's targets using bombs before they destroy yours. The catch? The bombs are placed in a central zone and it's a race to pick them up. Now this kind of sounds like it's going to be a capture the flag sort of search and destroy type mission where you go in, you take bombs and you run away with them, but the enemy can also kill you and you drop the bomb and then you have to go pick it up again. Now what I would love to see in a mode like this is if you bring the bomb to the enemy's location and then you place it and it explodes, I would love to see some sort of levolution or dynamic event happening where you could see at the end of the trailer where the ship actually ran ashore. So I would love to actually have the bomb really kind of trigger that event and have it all be very dynamic and very beautiful looking. Gonna pause here because the AC-130 from Battlefield 3 is obviously returning, but what's most interesting is that down on the bottom right you can see that there's a place for 4 people in the vehicle. In Battlefield 3 you only had place for 2 people, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of new things the AC-130 can do in Battlefield 4. Gonna do a quick little pause here as well because you get a nice glimpse of the new J-20. This is the jet that the Chinese use, and you're gonna see a lot more of them throughout the video as well. This seems to be a cockpit view from the J-20 from before. Now I just gotta stop it here because this jet looks absolutely incredible to fly from. I really like that when you're inside the jet there's nothing above your head and you can see a lot of the clear open sky. And I'm not a big fan of flying jets in Battlefield 3, but I imagine this very minimalistic cockpit is going to come in very handy for peripheral vision for experienced jet pilots. Now this shot coming up is completely badass, but I wanted to talk about this gun for a minute. This is the M82. It's a semi-automatic 50 caliber sniper rifle. Now this thing is an absolute monster. But I've read somewhere that this isn't a proper loadout weapon that you can choose from your kit menu. I don't know how true this is, but apparently weapons like this will spawn at locations around different maps. Lending credibility to this is the fact that the gun only has a limited amount of 22 bullets, and the fact that it's a semi-automatic 50 caliber sniper rifle really makes me think that you can't just pick this gun up anywhere and use it at any time. Now I want to bring your attention to the turquoise and blue counter on the left. This is the zeroing and the range of the target. Now I'm not sure if every rifle in the game is actually going to have this zeroing counter on the left or when you zoom in your scope, but we do know that every rifle in Battlefield 4 will now have the ability to zero in on targets, and this is really going to change up the sniper gameplay. This clip here shows us the dynamic weather that's going to be involved in Battlefield 4. And now this is really cool because it seems like it's not just a visual aesthetic thing that's going to change how the game looks, but it also appears to change how the game plays. And you're going to see that later as the wind actually starts to kick up some waves and all the boats have to actually bounce up and down over them. And it's really going to change up the naval combat. The wind actually gets so strong that it breaks up the wind turbines that are out in the ocean, and I don't know if it's part of this triggered event, but the big cruiser that was out that everyone spawned on, that actually runs ashore and knocks down a building. I'm hoping that these events are dynamic and can happen at any time in the map, but I have a feeling that they might be triggered events when certain things happen within the game mode. Similar to how the tower falls on Caspian Border when you're playing Conquest and you reach a certain amount of tickets. You can see here the game comes out on October 29th, and it's been confirmed that the beta is actually going to start in October as well. So it'll probably start at the beginning of October, and it'll give us a few weeks to play it, and then there's going to be like a week off, and then the game will actually release. Now it says here the pre-order, and you get China Rising expansion pack for the game. That DLC is obviously based around Chinese stuff, and then there's going to be a DLC later based around American urban settings, so each side kind of gets their own thing. There's a little bonus clip at the end of the trailer, and it shows the China Rising expansion pack. It seems like it's going to be based around jungle settings and wide open grassy areas, and instead of a ship running ashore, it seems a big giant jet is actually going to come in and explode over the map or going to crash into something. So it looks like it's going to be really cool, and I can't wait to play it. Now I've got some little bonus stuff myself to cover. This is an image that was released, got to do with the 2 new game modes. You can see Obliteration on the left, that was the description I read. And on the right you can see we have a new mode called Diffuse. Diffuse is an all-out new competitive game mode with attackers and defenders built for tight combat and quick gameplay. Die and you won't respawn until the next round. Now this sounds very much like a rush game mode, just that you don't respawn whenever you die. And this could be really, really cool. DICE also released a Battlefield 4 premium trailer. Now this isn't a direct feed trailer, so I'm not going to show it here, but within it they go over all the DLCs, and Second Assault is the DLC where they bring back Battlefield 3 maps. They said that they would be bringing back 4 Battlefield 3 maps, but that's kind of a lie, because from the trailer we can see that it's 3 Battlefield 3 maps and 1 Battlefield 2 map. If any of you are familiar with Battlefield 3 maps, you will know that this is Operation Firestorm, and I'm sorry about the low quality images, but these were kind of the best ones that I could find. Here's a shot of Gulf of Oman for Battlefield 4. At first I thought it was Sharkey Peninsula, but another image actually really confirms that it's Gulf of Oman. It has those big cranes and the big kind of building structures in the back that are never ever going to get completed as long as we're playing Battlefield. But this is the Battlefield 2 map that's returning for Battlefield 4. Here's a shot of Operation Metro returning for the Second Assault DLC. We kind of knew that Operation Metro was going to return anyway because of what the devs were saying, but a lot of people are really polarized about this. A lot of people hate Operation Metro. I personally really enjoy it. If you pick the right game mode, the right server, it can be really, really fun. But one big thing about the trailer is that it showed a lot of destruction going on within Operation Metro. I think one part actually showed them knocking out 2 of those pillars and the roof actually came collapsing down. So if that kind of destruction is in Operation Metro, it's going to make it a really fun map this time around for Battlefield 4. And of course, the old faithful Caspian Border is returning. As soon as I heard that Battlefield 3 maps would be returning to Battlefield 4, I knew Caspian Border was going to be in there because it's such a good map, it plays really well, it flows really well, it has great design layout, and it's just an overall excellent map to play any kind of game mode on. And that wraps it up for the video, guys. I hope my analysis was somewhat informative and it showed a lot of you guys stuff that you mightn't have seen the first time around, now that you can actually pause the video and take some time to look at it. I really love the Battlefield games. I'm going to play the heck out of Battlefield 4 when it comes out, and I'm going to do a lot of footage on it as well. And I hope some of you guys are looking forward to Battlefield 4 just as much as I am. But that does it for this one, guys, and I will see all you dudes in the next video!